So I want to go through some of the signs that's baked into our culture, into the Yoruba culture. I want to bring some highlight. You guys do your research. I really believe these are some signs that Yah gave us to show us that we are the people of the book. It wasn't some DNA. We can just literally look at our own customs, our own traditions that we have been practicing for thousands of years. Now, unfortunately, a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people, and matter of fact, I'm putting this out there hoping that this will reach the Nigerian people, the Yoruba people in Nigeria and all over the world, and hoping that maybe this will cause them to look, because they lived this. I mean, I only had part of it because it was mixed with American, Western culture, Nigerian culture, and just different things. But I'm hoping that somebody would take this to a whole nother level for me and do more on this stuff. But let me just tell you some of the things I know for sure. So the first sign that comes up is circumcision. Now, in Nigerian culture, circumcision is huge. I mean, that is like, and I wish I could have told Deacon about this map that shows the.
I got it, Elder.
Oh, you got that map? Okay, good. Yeah. So, but circumcision is so baked into that culture, and I didn't even know until I started looking into this stuff. I remember asking. Actually, there's another map here. I don't know if you have this map right here, but
oh no, that's not the one.
Yeah. But if you can look up that article, you could probably get that map. But anyway, because I need to read it right now. But circumcision is so huge. So let me read the scripture first about that here. Let me go here to Genesis 17. Genesis 17, verse 9. And I can read this. Let me read this here. So I'm gonna start with the sign that Yah gave us, and then I'm gonna connect it to the Yoruba tribe, the modern day Yoruba, which has only been around for 200 years. Genesis, can you read that, Deacon? I don't know if you can.
Starting at verse 9?
Yeah, start at verse 9, go to 14.
And Yah said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou, and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant.
All right. So when you guys see this is a sign that Yah made with Abraham between him and to Abraham and his seed. And so this is a bit. And so one thing I did not know. I mean, obviously, I grew up knowing I was circumcised. Now, I didn't know the story behind my circumcision. Didn't know what day I got circumcised. Unfortunately, a lot of my children from my first children, my first wife, they unfortunately did not get circumcised on the 8th day, because the way the hospital works here, they make you circumcise them on the 3rd day or whatever day, whenever they can conveniently circumcise them. But I was able to do that with my my sons now in the faith. One, I couldn't be able to do that because he was premature. He was 10 weeks premature. But the my second one, Ephraim, I was able to get him on the 8th day. So anyway, but I did not know this was a big deal. And I remember asking my dad when I was looking into this stuff. I said, Dad, is it true that that Nigerians circumcised on the 8th day? He says, yes. I said, was I? He says, yes. And my dad, if you guys know my dad, he's dealing with Parkinson's disease. So a lot of time he could be low in energy. But when I brought up the question, I said, was I circumcised on the 8th day? And I would be my father's first son. I am a twin. and I would tell you that story too. But I'm a twin. But I would be my dad. I have a twin sister, and then it's me that came out second. And being that I was my dad's first son, that was a big deal. And so I found out that I was circumcised on the 8th day, and this is having a Muslim father and a Christian mom. So this had nothing to do with Islam. It had nothing to do with Christianity. I was circumcised on the 8th day because of my dad's tradition as a Yoruba man in Nigeria. That's even and I was named on the 8th day. Matter of fact, my name came from my grandfather or my grandmother. They named me. So naming and it's just a big deal in the Nigerian culture. So I didn't know until my 40 that my early 40 that I was circumcised on the 8th day. It's so baked in to the Nigerian culture. If you look here on this map, where you see it's red, where you see the all the red, that is where 80%. It says here 80%. That's in red is prevalence of greater than 80%. Red areas have a prevalence greater than 80% of being circumcised. Now, when you go to the Yoruba culture, if you look right there in the corner of and we call it the pit of Africa, but where Nigeria is, but according to studies, it says here studies have shown that Yoruba tribe has a prevalence of nearly 90% of male circumcision through Islam only. Through male circumcision, though Islam only accounts, listen to this, Islam only accounts for about a quarter of their population. More interesting, however, is that the male circumcision is done on the 8th day of birth, just like the Israelites. So I was, a matter of fact, they even have sayings. Now I'm gonna please, guys. I once again, I want to because I'm hoping this will get out to Nigeria. So excuse my lack of accent. I don't have a good Yoruba accent, but I do want to say this proverbs that is said in Yoruba, and then I will translate it in English. Wankra is Wankara Wan Sita B Ome Eja Mejo. Forgive me, guys, but this is what it means. It means meaning that they're exposed like an 8-day-old baby. So Nigeria in Yoruba, they have a saying that I butchered, but you guys can do your research. Let me say it one more time. Wonkare Wonko Sita B Omo Ejo Mejo. Which, and so what that means is that if somebody had a secret and it got exposed, and so they would say this saying that, man, you got exposed like a baby on the 8th day. That's what it means, on the 8th day baby, because on the 8th day, they do what they call a naming ceremony and a circumcision. So that baby would have been exposed to everybody that's at the ceremony, and they party. This is a big deal. And so this is deeply rooted. If you say that saying in Yoruba, they know exactly what you're saying, and it's actually talking about a baby boy being exposing his part on the 8th day to be circumcised. So, like I said, it's deeply rooted in the
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I didn't even know this. I literally started learning. Matter of fact, I remember when I first came into Straightway, it was Pastor Dow that I remember he was telling me something in the Apocrypha, and he even alluding that he said, "Huh, you're Nigerian." He says, "Hey, you're a Hebrew." Like for real. I'm like, really? Like, I came into this for the Shabbat just because I was a Christian and I just wanted to follow the book. I used to say things when I was in Christianity. If this was good for Yah's people, it's good for me. Or if this was good for the Israelite, it's good for me. And not even putting two to two together that I'm also part of these people. I'm his people. I just thought I was more grafted in through I was a Gentile or something, from what we were taught here in America.
Yeah, that's what they told you.
That's what they told me. And even and the part that breaks my heart is to know that a lot of Nigerians, especially from the Yoruba tribe, don't even put the two together. Matter of fact, I've even heard Nigerians saying that who are Christians, they're discouraged from reading the Old Testament. And I think the reason why they keep them from reading the Old Testament because they will find out real quick if they start reading that Old Testament, they're gonna say, hey, there's a lot of things here that we do that they're doing. That's how they'll say. They'll say, man, we are like the Jewish people. We're doing what they do, or something like that. I mean, they literally are clueless. And once again, it just shows you the sign again. It shows you that, it just shows you that once again, how Yah said in Deuteronomy 28, that we won't even know the gods that our fathers even worship. We will be worshiping stone and wood, like Islam and Christianity with the cross, stone with the Kaaba. So it just blows me away to see that this curse is real,